Stop everything you are doing right now because the British royal family has just exploded in the most jaw-dropping public showdown in decades. Princess and the iron-willed royal who has never cracked under pressure in 50 years of service has erupted in uncontrollable rage. And the woman who lit the fuse? Camilla's own daughter Laura Lopez, who stormed straight up to Princess Catherine in front of stunned witnesses, cameras rolling, and slammed her with vicious accusations that ripped open decades of buried betrayal, stolen inheritance, and cold-blooded family warfare. This wasn't a polite disagreement. This was a full-throated, screaming confrontation that left Catherine frozen in shock, security scrambling, and Princess Anne's face twisted in pure fury as she unleashed a tirade so explosive it echoed across the entire hall. Insiders are leaking that this single moment has shattered Camilla's position forever, and sent William into a silent, terrifying rage of his own. But here's what no one is reporting yet. This confrontation was no accident. Leaked palace logs, deleted text messages, and a suspiciously positioned photographer prove it was months in the planning. What dark money trail, what secret audit, what knife-in-the-back betrayal triggered Laura to go nuclear on Catherine in public? And why did Princess Anne's legendary control finally snap in a way that has the entire monarchy trembling? The answers will leave you speechless. What you're about to hear is darker, more vicious, and more heartbreaking than anything the royals have endured since Diana. The gloves are off. The knives are out. And by the time this video ends, you will never see Kensington Palace the same way again. The rage is real. And trust me, it is only just beginning. Keep watching because the first twist is coming in 30 seconds and it will blow your mind. You think you know the royal family? Think again. Behind the polite smiles, the curated Instagram posts, and the carefully staged balcony appearances lies a viper's nest of resentment, greed, and decades-old grudges that were always going to explode. And the woman standing at the very center of this storm is none other than Princess Anne, the hardest-working royal, the one who has done more engagements than anyone else for 50 years, the one who has watched her family tear itself apart and stayed silent, until now. 4 years and has been the unbreakable backbone. While others chased headlines, she showed up in the rain, in the cold, without complaint. But insiders say she has been quietly seething as she watched Camilla's family circle the wagons, grabbing influence, money, and access they never earned. Laura Lopez and her brother Tom have lived in the shadows, enjoying private jets, estate perks, and backdoor invitations while the public was told the monarchy was slimming down. And then there is Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The woman the entire country has fallen in love with again after her terrifying cancer battle. The one who represents continuity, grace, and the future. To Camilla's children, Catherine isn't a sister-in-law. She is a threat. A living reminder that the public will always choose the future queen over the king's second wife's offspring. Leaked messages obtained by Rapper's Beef show Laura privately calling Catherine the new Diana, in a tone dripping with venom. The ultimate insult in that family. The tension has been building since Charles married Camilla. For 20 years, Camilla's family has been quietly embedded in estate management, trust funds, and regional invitations. Every audit that has come close to their dealings has mysteriously been softened or delayed. But this year everything changed. William, now operating with the cold fury of a man who watched his mother be destroyed by similar games, ordered a full, brutal forensic audit of every estate account, every payment, every favor. Princess Anne was the one who pushed hardest for that audit. She has blocked multiple attempts to loosen the rules that protect royal land and taxpayer money. Insiders say she has been sitting on explosive documents for months. Documents that show unexplained transfers, ghost contracts, and appointments handed to people connected to Camilla's inner circle. And saw what happened to Diana. She watched a young woman be briefing against, isolated, and emotionally annihilated by people who smiled to her face. She vowed it would never happen again to Catherine. Meanwhile, Laura Lopez has been boiling with resentment. Married, a mother, working in the art world, she has spent her adult life watching her mother walk 2 steps behind the new Princess of Wales. Sources close to the family say Laura became convinced that the new audit was personally designed to humiliate her mother and strip her family of everything they had quietly built. In private group chats that have now been leaked, she wrote, "They want us gone. Catherine is leading the charge. It's time they felt what real pressure looks like." That message was sent 3 weeks before the confrontation. 3 weeks. The event itself was supposed to be harmless. a rural development showcase at the Royal Horticultural Halls in Westminster. Local producers, jars of honey, a man from Cumbria with seed potatoes. Catherine was there to send a message of continuity, and was there because she always is. Nobody, absolutely nobody, expected Laura to walk through a side entrance she was not supposed to use. But she did. And what happened next shattered 50 years of royal protocol in under 2 minutes. The first scream still echoes in the ears of everyone who was there. You are not ready for what comes next. Because the moment Laura opened her mouth and slammed Catherine with the most personal, vicious accusations imaginable, Princess and did not stay calm. She did not adjust her gloves and speak in measured tones. She erupted. And that eruption is about to tear the monarchy in half. The full story, the leaked audio, the deleted messages, the photographer who was waiting like a predator. It is all coming. But first you need to understand how many years of poison led to this single cataclysmic afternoon. Because what Laura said wasn't just angry, it was nuclear. And Anne's response was even worse. Stay with me. The major confrontation is next and it is going to leave you gasping. It happened on a rainy Tuesday afternoon that should have been forgettable. Instead it became the day the royal family's mask was ripped off forever. Laura Lopez entered through a side door she was never supposed to have access to. She moved like a woman on a mission, pushing through the crowd until she stood 6 feet behind Catherine. The Princess of Wales was smiling politely at a display of local cheeses when Laura struck. You think you can erase my mother's family with your precious audit? Laura shouted, her voice carrying across the glass-roofed hall like a gunshot. You stole everything from us. The estates, the money, the respect. Also you and William can play perfect future king and queen while my mother is treated like dirt. You are no better than the people who destroyed Diana. The hall went deathly silent. Catherine's face drained of color. She took one step back, her famous composure cracking for the first time in public. Witnesses say you could hear the rain hammering the glass roof like 1,000 tiny accusations. And then Princess Anne turned. What happened next was pure pandemonium. And did not speak calmly. She did not query security protocols. She erupted in a rage so visceral, so raw, that seasoned royal correspondents say they have never seen anything like it in their careers. How dare you speak to her like that? And screamed, her voice cracking with decades of suppressed fury. You entitled, grasping little parasite. You and your mother have bled this family dry for 20 years and now you come here in public to attack the one woman who actually does the work? I have watched you lot slither around this institution long enough. Get out before I have you thrown out like the fraud you are. The words flew like bullets. Laura screamed back, face purple with rage, accusing Anne of covering up William's secret meetings to strip Camilla's family of every penny. She claimed the audit was a personal vendetta orchestrated by Catherine herself. The accusations grew wilder, more personal, more devastating with every second. Security finally rushed in, but the damage was done. The freelance photographer at the back, the one who had been positioned there since the doors opened, captured every single frame in devastating high resolution. And here is the first massive twist that changes everything. Palace insiders have now leaked that Laura was not acting alone. Text messages recovered from a burner phone show she had been coached. The messages read, "Make it public. Meghan lose control. The country will turn on her if she attacks Camilla's daughter in public." The sender? A senior aide still working inside Camilla's household. But the most shocking part? The aide was acting on direct instructions that appear to have come from someone even higher. Someone who wanted Anne to explode. Someone who wanted the world to see the real Princess Royal. The one who could be pushed into uncontrollable rage. This wasn't an outburst. This was a trap. And Princess Anne, in her white-hot fury, walked straight into it. Or did she? Because the second twist is even darker. Leaked audio from Anne's protection officer captures her muttering under her breath in the car immediately afterward. They wanted a reaction. They just got one they will regret for the rest of their lives. The palace is in absolute meltdown. William has reportedly demanded the raw footage and all unedited files. King Charles is said to be devastated and furious. But the real question everyone is asking is this. If this confrontation was deliberately engineered, who benefits from and looking like she lost control? The answer is coming. And it is going to destroy everything you think you know about the current royal hierarchy. The escalation is next and it is going to be biblical. Within hours the video was everywhere. Clips of Princess Anne's face twisted in pure rage screaming at Camilla's daughter went mega viral. The internet caught fire. But what happened behind palace walls was even more explosive. William reportedly ended a secure call mid-sentence, something he has never done in his entire professional life. He demanded an immediate crisis meeting in the basement briefing room. When he arrived, the temperature in the room was set to be sub-zero. He played the raw footage on a loop. The sound of Anne's voice cracking with fury filled the room while the clicking of the photographer's shutter could be heard throughout. Then came the shocking reveal that has left senior courtiers reeling. The audit that Laura referenced in her tirade has uncovered transfers totaling millions of pounds that cannot be explained. Not discreet spending. Not private family arrangements. Actual, traceable movements of royal estate money into trusts connected to Camilla's children and their associates. One insider with direct knowledge told Rappers Beef. The numbers are so bad that even Charles cannot protect them anymore. But here is where the knife twists even deeper. Newly leaked documents show that Princess Anne had been warning Charles about this exact problem for 18 months. She presented him with evidence. She begged him to act. He asked for more time. Time that allowed the situation to fester until Laura decided to go nuclear in public. Anne's eruption wasn't uncontrolled rage. Multiple sources now claim it was calculated. She let Laura speak. She let the accusations fly. She waited until the trap was fully sprung, and then she detonated with such force that the original plan backfired spectacularly. Because now the story is not mean and attacks Camilla's daughter. The story is Camilla's family tried to ambush the future queen and the king's sister in public, and it went horribly wrong. Social media is tearing itself apart. Celebrity reactions are flooding in. One famous former royal correspondent posted, "I have covered this family for 30 years. I have never seen and lose control like that. Something enormous is being hidden. The palace tried to contain it. They failed." And now the second massive escalation. King Charles has reportedly signed a sealed decree that has not been seen since the 1990s. It removes Camilla's entire family from any official royal patronage, any estate involvement, and any future invitations to working events. The document was allegedly slid across a table in the Privy Council chamber with no advisors present. Charles signed it without looking up. The woman who spent 30 years fighting to be accepted has now watched her own daughter trigger the mechanism that may exile her family from the institution forever. But the final revelation in this section will shake you to your core. According to a senior palace source who spoke on condition of absolute anonymity, the photographer who captured everything was paid not by a tabloid, but by someone inside Anne's own team. They wanted the explosion on record. They wanted the world to see exactly what Camilla's family is capable of. The trap went both ways. And now both sides have blood on their hands. The public reaction is about to get apocalyptic. The next section will show you exactly how the entire country is choosing sides. And the divide may never heal. But before we get there, understand this. Nothing about this story is what it seems. And the biggest bombshell is still waiting. Social media has completely lost its mind. Within 6 hours of the first clips leaking, Princess Anne rage was trending worldwide with over 4.2 million posts. The divide is brutal. One side is calling Anne a national hero, the only royal with the spine to finally say what everyone has been thinking about Camilla's grasping family. The other side is branding her an entitled bully who verbally assaulted a private citizen in public. X is a war zone. One viral thread by a prominent royal commentator with 2.8 million followers reads, "Laura went full attack dog on Catherine, a woman still recovering from cancer, in front of the press. Anne's rage was justified. This family has tolerated parasites for too long." That thread has 487,000 likes and counting. On the other side, Camilla supporters are flooding the zone with old photos of and looking stern in captions like, "This is who you call the hero? The woman who just humiliated her brother's stepdaughter on camera." Celebrity reactions have poured in thick and fast. A famous actress who once played a royal in a blockbuster posted, "As a mother, watching Laura be screamed at like that broke me. No matter the provocation, that level of public rage is never acceptable." Within minutes she was ratioed into oblivion by Anne defenders. News channels are running wall-to-wall coverage. One major broadcaster aired the clip on loop for 9 straight hours. Royal correspondents who normally choose their words carefully are using phrases like constitutional crisis and point of no return. Polls conducted in the last 48 hours show shocking numbers. 61% of Britons believe and was right to erupt, 28% think she went too far, and 11% say the entire family should be abolished. The younger generation is particularly savage toward Laura, with TikTok videos stitching her accusations with Diana footage receiving tens of millions of views. But here is what almost nobody is talking about. Behind the noise, William's team has been quietly leaking selected details of the audit findings. The strategy is clear. Let the public see the money trail before Camilla's side can spin it. One leaked spreadsheet, now circulating widely, shows payments to companies linked to Laura's art ventures that have no corresponding invoices. The numbers are eye-watering. The palace press office is in full meltdown. They have issued 3 separate statements in 24 hours, each more desperate than the last. The latest one reads like a surrender. The Princess Royal regrets the tone of the exchange, and herself has made no public comment. Insiders say she is completely unrepentant, and has told close aides that she would do it again in a heartbeat. The country is choosing sides in real time. Families are arguing. Royal fan accounts are blocking each other. Bookmakers are taking bets on whether Camilla will be seen in public before Christmas. And through all of this, one woman has remained completely silent. Camilla. Not one word. Not one statement. Not even a sympathetic leak. Her own daughter was publicly eviscerated, and she has vanished into her country house like a ghost. What does that silence mean? The final section is going to answer that question with a revelation so shocking it will rewrite everything you think you understand about power in the House of Windsor. The last twist is coming, and it will leave you questioning every single thing you have heard so far. And now the revelation that changes absolutely everything. Multiple senior sources with first-hand access have confirmed the most explosive detail yet. Princess Anne did not erupt in spontaneous rage. She has been preparing for this exact moment for 14 months. The loss of control was theatrical. The volume, the personal insults, the visible fury. All of it was calculated to force the confrontation into the open so that the audit findings could no longer be buried. In other words, Anne baited Laura into the public attack, and then detonated with such force that the original plan to paint Catherine and William as vindictive was completely destroyed. But here is the twist inside the twist that nobody saw coming. The person who originally gave Laura the green light to confront Catherine was not acting alone. Leaked encrypted messages now circulating among a handful of trusted journalists show that Camilla herself was aware of the plan. She did not stop it. According to one message dated 2 days before the event. If it has to be public, so be it. Sometimes pain is necessary to protect what is ours. Camilla allegedly signed off on her own daughter walking into the lion's den. Why? Because the audit was about to expose transfers that could have led to criminal investigation. By forcing a public family meltdown, the hope was that Charles would intervene to protect family unity and quietly shut the audit down. Instead, Anne's calculated explosion made the scandal so loud that Charles had no choice but to sign the decree removing Camilla's family from every financial and ceremonial connection to the rapper's beef. The silence from Camilla? It is not heartbreak. It is strategy. She is already lawyering up with the most aggressive financial defense team in London. Insiders say the next move involves potential leaks about William's own finances, about Catherine's recovery, about anything that can create enough smoke to distract from the millions that appear to have gone missing. The royal family is not just divided, it is at war. William has reportedly told close aides that the cleaning will be completed by Christmas, and has been seen smiling for the first time since the confrontation. A cold, satisfied smile that terrifies everyone who has seen it. And Catherine, the woman who was slammed in public, is said to have told her husband in private, "This ends now. For our children. For Diana's memory. For all of us." The final devastating detail that has just emerged in the last 24 hours. The Privy Council decree signed by Charles does not just remove Camilla's family. It contains a clause that allows for the removal of any individual, including a queen, if their actions are deemed to bring the institution into disrepute. That clause has never been used in modern times. Until now. Is Camilla next? Is this the beginning of the end of her queenship? The palace has gone completely dark. No engagements. No statements. No photographs. Just silence and the sound of lawyers sharpening their knives. This drama is not over. It is accelerating. What happens in the next 7 days will determine whether the monarchy survives in its current form, or whether we are watching the beginning of the most spectacular royal collapse in a century. I have sources preparing to drop the full audit documents. I have insiders ready to leak the exact wording of the secret decree. And I have audio that has not yet seen daylight. The next video is already in production. But I want to know what you think first. If your jaw is on the floor right now, smash that like button so hard YouTube thinks the server is under attack. Subscribe to Rappers Beef and turn on notifications because the next update is going to be even more explosive than this one. We are talking full audit leaks, potential legal action, and the real reason Camilla has gone radio silent. Comment below. Do you think Princess Anne was right to erupt in rage? Was Laura justified in slamming Catherine? Or is the entire family rotten and should be abolished? Be honest. I read every single comment. Do you believe Camilla knew her daughter was walking into a trap? Type and was right or Camilla set her up. So I can see where you stand. This is the biggest royal story of the decade and it is nowhere near finished. The next video drops in less than 72 hours, and it will contain information that will make today's revelations look tame. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the only channel brave enough to tell you the truth behind the rappers and the ceremonies. The monarchy is cracking open in real time, and we are going to be here for every single second of it. See you in the next one. The rage is real. The stakes are higher than ever. And the next bombshell is already ticking.